The Reserve Bank's June 2012 monetary policy statement is set down for consideration. Are there any bills for introduction? No bills for introduction. The House then comes to questions for oral answer. And the first question stands in the name of Maggie Barry.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Tēnā tātou te whare. My question to the Minister of Finance is, what progress is the government making in building a more competitive and productive economy?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, good progress. Household saving is positive and expected to increase further. Household debt has fallen from 155% of disposable income 3 years ago to 140%, although debt levels are still too high. The economy continues to grow moderately. Inflation is at a 12-year low, interest rates are at a 45-year low, and the government is on track to surplus. The government is also continuing to focus on competitiveness of New Zealand businesses to encourage them to invest and create jobs.
Maggie Barry.
What measures has the government taken since 2008 to build a more competitive economy?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there's a very large number of measures, but I will mention a few. Increasing taxes on consumption and property speculation, and reducing taxes on work and on savings. Improving the quality of regulation that affects every business and every organisation in New Zealand, a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure program of investment in rail, roads, ultra-fast broadband and electricity transmission, as well as consistently increasing investment in science and innovation, and many more.
Supplementary.
Maggie Barry.
What is the focus of the government's business growth program, and how will it contribute to building a more competitive economy?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the focus of the government's business growth program is on doing whatever the government can to encourage businesses to create more jobs, and you can only have more jobs by actually doing things. So the government is going to focus on export markets, on infrastructure, on skilled and safe workplaces, on developing our natural resources responsibly, growing our capital markets, and on innovation and ideas. So the government can lend a hand, but in the end a new job occurs when a business actually decides to employ somebody.
The Honourable David Parker.
Are exports down, immigration to Australia up, and New Zealand's net international liabilities projected to grow every year for the next 4 years?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, exports have been a bit flat, and that's because, exporters are actually doing their best, and they need all the help they can get from a government that's actually in favour of exporting and investing, rather than opposition policies intended to stop people creating jobs, businesses and exports.
Maggie Barry.
What are some of the issues affecting New Zealand's productivity and competitiveness?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there's any number to pick from, but one that is important is housing affordability. The government has a strong interest in making housing more affordable because a lot of taxpayer support goes into housing. But we are particularly concerned that there is almost no new building of houses for people with lower quartile incomes, that is, incomes in the bottom 25%. That is very unfair to New Zealanders who aspire to home ownership, and we believe that by working with local bodies we can increase the supply of housing and reduce the excessive burden of the cost of housing on New Zealand families.
Question number 2, the Leader of the Opposition, David Shearer.